First of all, before we get started, I just want to say if you actually did click on this video, thank you for clicking. It really means a lot, especially for somebody who doesn't really know what he's doing. If you don't know about executing an idea of yours, then I believe that that's how you know you should do it. For example, this YouTube. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I should say for this video. I have no idea how to even edit this video today. Well, at least I mean this in a way of like, I have no idea what's the proper way to do it. You know, I always think that in order to do something, there's a set way. You know, if you wanna, for example, if you're an electrician, there's a set way to probably do the things, you know, make the wires going this place, that place, you know, it all makes sense. And it's teachable, you know, you can go to school, you can study, or you don't even have to go to school to study. You can get an apprenticeship. But when it comes to something creative or something that requires a little bit of something more, it actually is quite hard, I'm not gonna lie. Especially for somebody who grew up not as the art kid, not as that creative kid. I was that kid that was silent. I was a silent kid. My sister was the one that was the artsy one. So now that I'm doing something that requires something more than just my hands, it requires this noggin up here that it requires that head. So I have a lot of ideas, but what I mean by when I have no idea what to do for today is like these ideas are so loud. I got bing bing over here, bing bing over there on the right, my brain, bing boom boom boom, and it's like, dog, like what am I even, like, how do I decide from doing the most epic speech of all time versus some nonchalant like little talk? You know, it's hard to make a decision. At least maybe not for you guys. But if you clicked on this video, then you're lacking something. I'm calling you out right now. Hey, I'm calling you out. Lock in. I need to lock in. Well, don't we all need to lock in? Isn't that like an obsession of ours? Y'all seen that one video? It's like Gen Z's obsession with locking in. I actually never watched the video, but I keep saying the thumbnail. But anyways, little yap aside, I'm in doubt right now. But what's weird is I'm not. I guess I'm scared. I'm scared of not putting out what I like, or not putting out the correct video, the correct yap, the correct edit, you know, but it's not really like that, I guess. It's only like that before I start it, you know, and when I actually get on here, when I'm here on this video, when I'm looking at my Adobe Premiere Pro that I pay over $20 a month for, shout out the student discount, shout out my college, shout out community colleges, I'll just say that. But, you know, whenever you're here trying to edit, the thought of editing is way worse than me just looking at the screen and being like, okay, I don't really know how to edit, but I know how to do this, so I'm just gonna stick to that. Or if I want to try something new, I'll just put a little bump. Hopefully I'll just throw something up on the screen, I don't know. But I guess whenever you weren't told that you're not the creative one, sorry sister if you're seeing this, but you know, I never thought that I could put something out meaningful, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And now that like I'm here and I'm trying to put out something meaningful, that doubt comes in. That doubt just right under, bro. Lifts me up. You play Apex Legends, Horizon, whenever she throws that her special ability that keeps you up in the sky, yeah, that's what happens to me. I'm just floating. And I'm stuck in this limbo state. Let's call it that, a limbo state of, oh, I really have this cool idea. I want to make a series about me talking about things I really enjoy. For example, let's just talk about my GOAT, Lil Uzi. Greatest rapper of all time, in my opinion. Even though technically I know not on any fronts he isn't, but to me he is. You know, if I want to create a Lil Uzi video talking about how he not overcame, but how he had to grind and evolve and change. How would I even put that out, And then so what ends up happening is I don't end up doing that video. And I do this video instead while I'm talking about me downing. Double thumbs up, guys. But yeah. I'm not trying to say I'm disappointed in this video. I'm more disappointed in me. I'm disappointed that I can't, juggle everything at once. Because, let's be honest, we all have a life. Surprisingly, I have to go outside and touch grass. When I was a kid, I didn't think that was physically possible. No way I was going outside. No way I was talking to a woman. I have a girlfriend now. What? And now my parents are like, yeah, you're an adult. You have to live your life. And I'm just like, how come when I was like under 18 or hey, when I was like 10 years old, I couldn't go outside, or it was stuff like that. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. That's not what I'm not trying to get at you guys. What I'm trying to get at is that whenever you're so accustomed to, or when you're so used to doing something or doing the same thing over and over and over again, and then it's like suddenly like no, you gotta do something else. You gotta change it. You gotta. Time has passed you, and most of my life, time has passed me. Time has gone by. I've been in doubt for too long. I was too stuck in my head for most of my life. I was too worried about what would happen. So I chose what wouldn't happen. I chose what couldn't happen, which was nothing. I thought, okay, if I just shut up and just take it and everything would be fine. Well, made sure everything was fine for them, but not for me. I had to eat all that pain. And I still do that a lot. I don't really speak out like my true opinion, because I feel like my true opinion is often harsher than what I give off. I'd rather just be quiet than be like, oh, the reason why you're sad or the reason why you're not happy right now is because you're not listening to yourself, or because you want to be in pain. If you tell somebody that, they're not going to accept it. But if you package it in a certain way, in a certain time, maybe you stall for a while, maybe it could get to that. But I don't know. Sometimes you just need to rip the Band-Aid off, is what I found out. I remember when I was younger, my mom would, I had a lot of allergies growing up. I still do. But back then it was way worse. That's why touching grass was weird to me, because I was allergic to grass. I was allergic to trees, because I was allergic to pollen. I was just allergic to everything growing up. I used to be in and out of the doctor. But, I had to suck up at a certain point the doctor's visits. And what's funny is my mom is famously deathly afraid of needles. So when I actually had to go to the allergy doctor, my mom would be freaking out, but she'd be like, hey, you have to do it. You have to suck it up. And first like 10 times but I felt just like pain. I was crying. I hated it. But then by the 1,000th needle I took into the shoulder, remember, stopped getting allergy shots when I was like 18. Stopped like high school. It just became more of an annoyance. Like I have to go get my allergy shot. So I just got used to it. Get used to pain. But I guess where that correlates with ripping the Band-Aid off is I had to suck it up. I had to suck up that pain. I had to suffer. And That is what humans are really great at, aren't we? We're good at suffering. But what we're better at is overcoming that somehow. Throughout the times of history, you got the Allied invasion of Normandy, all those soldiers that died who didn't even touch the beach. Yet the objective still completed. They landed on the beach. They overtook the beach. They pushed forward into France. They took major cities and then reached Paris. That's when they freed the French people. That's when people finally realized what they did was for a reason. But I can tell you what, those countless people that died on that beach, they didn't get to live that long. They probably died with a lot of doubt. They died with a lot of fear. They died with, I don't know if this is right. And it's weird because, God, like, a lot of people die before they see what they made come into fruition, come into their light. And it's sad, really. I guess, I always said that from this YouTube stuff, I don't want no glory, I don't want no fame, I don't want no money. But I guess what I do want, and what I've been kind of like holding for myself, is that I want to see some change happen because of this. I want to see it affect people in a good way. Now, there's probably a future where it affects people in a negative way. And am I ready for that? I don't know. Maybe that's why I've been so iffy about my true intentions for this channel. But nah, what I want from this channel is to help you. And what I mean by help you, I mean just if that help is literally you clicking off this video right now at this point and getting started on what you really want to do, and getting started on what you actually love, and getting started on what you've been ignoring, what you've been doubting. So if you're in doubt, congratulations. You're almost there to success. You really are, because doubt is just another part of the elevator to success. Might be the basement level. Might not be the level 6-7. Might not be level 6-7. I'm sorry. Might be the basement level, but damn, you're still in the building, no? You're still in that fancy hotel building, no? So at least you have a chance to get into the top floor. Most people don't even get in the room to perform. Most people die before they're able to even get a chance. Most people give up before they're able to have a chance. Most people can't make it. But you're not most people, are you? At least that's what you tell yourself. You tell yourself you're not like most people. You tell yourself you're different. So when are you actually going to prove it to yourself? When are you actually going to show your worth? When are you going to prove that you do have a meaning? Because we can sit here and we can give up, we can loathe, we can feel sad, we can feel happy, or we can just do what we want to do what we have to do, because in reality that's what it is to us, to you. What you have to do is what you really want to do. It's vice versa. It's almost interchangeable in a way. But we ignore it, we push it down, because it is selfish. It is almost egotistical. It's hard. It's a balance. Because while yes, you can't have it like overtake you and consume you, but no, you can't. You can't just pretend like you're not worthy. Because you make your own worth. Not nobody else. Not me. I don't determine your worth. I'm not here to boost your ego. And I'm not here to tear you down either. I guess that's what I want people to understand with my stuff is, while I do enjoy, building you up, while I do enjoy showing you what's gonna go right, telling you it's gonna be okay, all that, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I don't want to lie to you. Because I don't lie to myself, first of all. I really don't. And I know when I'm lying. And I know when I'm doing something that I don't agree with. And I know when I'm in the wrong. And yet sometimes I still decide to go down that path. And I end up surprised. Don't we all? So, please, just get started, man. Just get started. And if you are started, then keep going. Because just because you started doesn't mean that the fight's over. Sure, you might have just lost for so long. Sure, you might have been in doubt for so long, and it feels good that you finally, yeah, you know what? I finally got my song out. Let's go. You know what? I'm gonna celebrate it for a week. Huh? Buddy, get started on that next song. Well, I do want you to, take your flowers, enjoy. Where you want to get to doesn't just end with a song, with just that first song. You need to drop more. You need to do more. And you need to realize that this is one of many battles. The beginning is just the beginning. The middle's the middle, and then the end. But there are different timelines, there are different lengths. It's not all even. Not everything, in this world is ever perfect. Not everything's gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. At least that's what I have to tell myself now. Because, damn, I think I know what I'm doing when I don't. That's my biggest lie. I tell you guys I know what I'm doing, but no, I don't. You see how I keep flip-flopping? It's just an endless battle. So if in doubt, keep going. Because you will find success. Doubt will hold the door open. Because doubt is just another emotion. Same as any other. So take that time, realize, do I listen to the doubt? Or do I push through it? Because man, for every time I doubted myself, if I had just given up right then, I might not even be here. So recognize when doubt overcomes you, but don't let it beat you up. Don't sit on it for too long. Because then it almost turns into resentment. And resentment digs its roots way deeper. So yeah, y'all. It's Dia. Something a little different for today. I'm trying to change up the content. Trying to do some different stuff. Trying to just have fun with it. Upload more. So yeah, y'all. If you're really enjoying this type of content, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. First of all, just want to make sure y'all having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever, and wherever y'all are. So yeah. With love and peace.